Weekend anchor Whit Johnson, and he's going to get ready to come on our broadcast here in a minute. Whit, do I actually have you right now?
You got me, Kana. Forgive me. We're moving around here. Yes.
You know what, Whit? I think that's fun because I feel like you're actually taking me down into the chaos of Wall Street right now. So I really appreciate that. What are you seeing? Tell me about it.
Absolutely. I mean, chaos is exactly the way to describe it here in the pit on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. And we were here this morning during the opening bell, and we saw the major drop across the board, red all across the board. But we've seen this volatility, these wild swings. At one point today, the Dow was down as much as 1,700 points, and then it was able to swing back into positive territory, and then now, as we see, it closed about 350 points down. But I was talking to an economist a short time ago, and the thing that she pointed out is one of the reasons behind all of the volatility right now is the fact that there's no clear policy resolution or solution to all of this. Everyone's like waiting on pins and needles to hear what the president or the administration might say. And so it's kind of a wait and see. And so the data points of the economy itself, this economist pointed out, are still strong. I mean, jobs are good, companies and profits are doing well, but everybody is worried about what these tariffs could bring. So the big question is, what is the president and the administration going to do going forward? If the tariffs hold, like they say they will, although the administration says that negotiations are still happening right now with different countries, but assuming that they hold for the week, most of the traders and investors here that we've been talking to say expect more of that volatility and more of those wild swings to come.
Yeah, isn't it interesting, Whit, how we learn more about the president's plans, yet we still have all this lack in clarity throughout all of this. And we keep having these, conversations now about how the stock market looks as bad as it did during the pandemic. I'm sure there's a lot of people on that floor that can offer up that kind of perspective here of what it was like back then, especially now, as in this time of day, they start to look forward to the stock futures for tomorrow even.
And that's a great point, and that's exactly what people have been telling me. But the difference, though, during the pandemic is everybody knew what was wrong. It was the global pandemic. And as part of that, they also knew how to respond to it, right? Let's get money into the system. This is very different. It's very much a wait and see. So at some point, the market is gonna reset and sort of bake in this volatility. But in the meantime, it's a question of what will the administration do about these tariffs? And one consensus that we have heard across the board from a lot of analysts is that, look, these tariffs at the end of the day are going to impact everyday Americans, and the prices on the goods that they buy are going to go up. We've seen the likelihood of a recession, various estimates going up. JP Morgan, for example, increased the odds of a recession to 60%. We saw JP Morgan also chairman of the Federal Reserve saying that these tariffs are likely going to lead to increased inflation. So that has a lot of people concerned. But as we saw today, things did correct to some degree. It was not as bad as maybe people were predicting earlier this morning, but it's still going to be a long week ahead.
Certainly. They called it a manic Monday on Wall Street today, Whit. So I'm glad that you were the one down there for that for all of us. So good to see you, my friend. Thank you for being with us.